The space station Krylos hub never slept. Bright lights floated in the air like false stars. Giant screens flashed alien symbols and job offers. Thousands of beings from different worlds moved through the wide halls, speaking in strange voices. Clicking, hissing, and humming. In the middle of all this noise stood Mara. She held a small data pad in one hand and her child's hand in the other. Her clothes were clean but old. Her boots were worn down from too many long walks. Her shoulders were stiff, not from strength, but from carrying worry for too long. This was her 13th interview today. The alien behind the counter did not look at her face. Its many eyes stayed on the screen. Species? It asked. Human? Mara replied calmly. The alien paused. Its eyes changed color. Parental status? I am a single mother. The alien's eyes dimmed. Rejected, it said. That was all? No reason. No apology, just rejected. Mara nodded politely, took her pad, and stepped aside. She had learned not to argue. Arguing only brought security drones closer. Her child, Leo, looked up at her. Mom, can we eat today? He asked softly. Mara smiled, even though her chest hurt. Yes, she said. Of course. She did not know how. They walked to the next booth. This one belonged to a large reptile-like alien wearing a metal badge. Mara stood straight. I can work cargo, maintenance, cleaning, or night shifts, she said. I learn fast. The alien looked at Leo. You bring offspring, it said. Yes, Mara replied, but he will not interfere. Unacceptable, the alien interrupted. Single parents abandon duty. I won't, Mara said. Quickly. I never have. The alien turned away. Rejected. That made 14. They moved again. Hours passed. Each rejection felt heavier than the last. Some aliens were polite, some were cold, some were cruel. One laughed and said, humans breed weakness. Another said, your emotions are a risk. One did not even let her finish speaking. With every rejection, Mara felt smaller. She remembered the farm world she came from. She remembered the war. She remembered the night everything burned. She remembered promising her child that things would get better. Now, standing in the largest station in this sector, she felt that promise slipping away. At the 15th booth, a floating alien scanned her body with blue light. Health acceptable, it said. Skill. Level, average. Child dependency, high. Mara held her breath. Rejected. Leo squeezed her hand. It's okay, Mom, he said. I can be quiet. I can hide. Mara knelt in front of him and placed her hands on his shoulders. No, you said firmly. You don't hide. Ever. But when she stood up, her eyes burned. They reached the end of the hall. There were no more booths, just a wide window showing stars and deep space beyond. Mara stood there for a long moment, staring out. Into the darkness. The station hummed around her, full of life and opportunity. For everyone except her, security drones floated closer. She noticed them watching her now. Unemployed. No sponsor. A child in tow. She knew what that meant. Soon they would ask her to leave the station, leave the sector, go back to nowhere. She turned away from the window. We'll try again tomorrow, she told Leo, but her voice sounded weak, even to her own ears. That was when she heard it, a human voice. Calm, curious. Can I ask you something? Mara froze. Humans were rare here. Most stayed within their own fleets. Most did not get involved. She slowly turned around. The man standing behind her wore simple clothing with a small human emblem on his chest. No armor, no weapon, just tired. Eyes and a steady expression. Why hasn't anyone hired you yet? He asked. Mara did not answer at first. She had heard fake kindness before. She had learned to be careful. Because I'm a single mother, she said finally. And aliens don't like risk. The man looked at Leo, then back at her. And you? He asked. What do you think? Mara hesitated. I think, she said slowly, that I work harder than anyone here. I think I don't quit. And I think my child is not a weakness. The man nodded. Behind them, an alien security officer watched closely. You know, the man said, everyone else asked about your limits. He paused. I'm more interested in what you can do. Mara felt something she had not felt in a long time. Hope, and that scared her more than rejection ever had. Mara stood still, unsure what to say next. Hope was dangerous. She had learned that the hard way. The human waited. He did not rush her. He did not look past her to the next person in line. His eyes stayed on her, calm and steady, as if she mattered. My name is Elias Ward, he said. I work logistics for a human trade fleet docked here. Mara nodded slowly. I'm Mara, she replied, and this is my son, Leo. Leo gave a small, shy wave. Elias smiled at him, not the polite kind. Real one, you've been here all day, Elias said, looking at her worn boots. Haven't you? Yes, Mara answered honestly, and yesterday, and the day before that. Elias looked around. Alien employers pretended not to watch, but many of them were listening. Come with me, Elias said. Mara's heart jumped. Where? She asked. Somewhere quieter, he replied. So we can talk. She hesitated. Security drones floated nearby. Alien eyes followed them. Leaving with a human could bring trouble. I won't cause problems, she said quickly. I just want work. That's exactly why I'm asking, Elias replied. After a moment, Mara nodded. They followed Elias through a side corridor, away from the loud hiring halls. The lights were softer here. The noise faded into a distant hum. They stopped near a small observation window that looked out over rows of docked ships. One of them carried a simple human mark. That one's ours, Elias said. Mara looked at it like it was something unreal. You run a ship? She asked. I help keep it running, he answered. Supplies, cargo flow, crew shifts, nothing fancy. That's more than enough, Mara said quietly. Elias leaned against the wall. Tell me what happened, he said. So she did. She spoke about the war on her colony, about losing her partner, about fleeing with only what she could carry, about traveling station to station, always hearing the same words. Rejected, unacceptable. Risk. She did not cry. She had no tears left. When she finished, there was silence. Elias did not interrupt her once. I don't have special skills, Mara added, but I work. I adapt. I don't stop. I noticed, Elias said. She looked up. You did? Yes, he replied. Most people leave after 3 or 4 rejections. You stayed. Mara gave a weak smile. I don't have a choice. Elias nodded. Aliens don't hire single parents because they think care makes you weak, he said. Humans learn something different. What's that? Mara asked. That responsibility makes you stronger. Before she could answer, an alien voice cut in. This conversation is illogical. A tall insect-like alien stood nearby. It wore an employer badge and looked directly at Elias. You are considering hiring her, the alien said. It was not a question. I am, Elias replied calmly. The alien's antennae twitched. She is inefficient, it said. Her child creates distraction. Emotional risk increases failure. She kept applying after 14 rejections. Elias said, that's not inefficiency. That is desperation, the alien replied. Elias straightened. Sometimes, he said, desperation is another word for commitment. Other aliens gathered closer, drawn by the tension. You risk your operation, one of them warned. Humans already have a poor efficiency record, said another. Your kindness will cost you, a third added. Elias listened, then spoke clearly. I'm not offering her a favor, he said. I'm offering her a chance. He turned back to Mara. It's a trial position, he explained. Short contract, low pay, long hours. Mara did not blink. I'll take it, she said instantly. Elias raised an eyebrow. You don't even know the conditions yet. I know worse, she replied. The aliens murmured. She will fail, one said. She will beg for release, said another. Elias tapped his wrist pad and sent a file to Mara's device. Cargo handling, maintenance assistance, night shifts. He said, if you quit, the contract ends. No penalties. And my son? Mara asked. He stays aboard in a monitored safe area. Elias answered, human crew only. Leo looked up at his mother. Is it okay? He asked. Mara knelt and held his face gently. It's more than okay, she said. She stood and faced Elias. I won't fail, she said. Elias met her eyes. I know, he replied. Behind them, alien employers exchanged looks. Some were amused, some annoyed. One of them spoke loudly. We will observe, it said. When she fails, this will prove human judgment is flawed. Elias did not respond. As Mara followed him toward the docking bays, she felt the weight of every eye on her back, or crept in. What if they were right? What if she failed? She looked down at Leo walking beside her, holding her hand tightly. Failure was not an option. Above them, the station lights dimmed as the shift cycle changed. A new chapter had begun, and the galaxy was watching. The human ship was smaller than the alien freighters around it. Its hull was scratched and faded. Old repairs were visible along the sides. It did not look impressive. It looked used. Mara stepped inside with Leo. The air smelled of metal, oil, and something warm, like cooked food. Human crew members moved through the narrow halls, carrying tools, tablets, and crates. They glanced at Mara, then at her child. No one laughed. No one stared. A woman with short gray hair knelt in front of Leo. "I'm Captain Hale," she said. "You must be Leo." Leo nodded. "You'll stay in the observation room during work hours," the captain said gently. "Plenty of screens, food whenever you're hungry." Leo looked at his mother. Mara nodded. "Go on," she said. "I'll be right here." When Leo was led away, the ship felt suddenly quieter. Elias handed Mara a work pad. "Your schedule," he said. "You start now." She looked at it. No breaks listed, night shifts included, emergency call status active. It was worse than anything the aliens had offered. "I understand," Mara said. Elias studied her face. "You can walk away," he said. "No one would blame you." "I won't," she replied. Her first task was cargo inspection. Heavy crates lined the loading bay. Some were damaged. Some leaked faint vapor. An alien supervisor watched from a platform above. "Handle carefully," it said. "Or don't." "It makes no difference." Mara said nothing. She checked seals. She logged weights. She rerouted unstable containers away from heat sources. Halfway through the shift, alarms sounded. A crate began to shake. Alien protocol required evacuation. Mara saw the readings and knew there was no time. She ran forward and manually released. Pressure, ignoring the burning pain in her hands. The shaking stopped. The alarm fell silent. The alien supervisor stared. "That was not procedure," it said. "It worked," Mara replied. Word spread quickly. The next tasks were worse. Broken systems, narrow crawl spaces, old wiring that cut into her skin. She worked through pain and exhaustion. Aliens watched closely, waiting. Made no mistakes. During her first night shift, she barely slept. She checked on Leo through the observation screen. He was asleep, holding a borrowed blanket. That gave her strength. On the third day, an alien technician forgot to warn her about a faulty gravity plate. She was thrown hard against a wall. Her shoulder screamed with pain. "Incident logged," the alien said coldly. "Worker error." Mara pushed herself up. "I can continue," she said. Elias tried to protest. She shook her head. "If I stop," she whispered, "they win." By the end of the week, her hands were blistered. Her body ached. Her eyes were heavy, but the ship ran smoother than it had in months. Cargo losses dropped. Repair times improved. Human crew morale rose. Aliens did not like that. They began whispering, "She works too hard." She ignores protocol. She makes us look inefficient. Then came the real test. A deep space cargo run through an unstable route. High radiation. Old navigation data. Failure probability. High, an alien analyst announced. Elias looked up at Mara. "You don't have to take this," he said. Mara thought of Leo, of the station window. Of rejection. "I'll do it," she said. The ship entered the route. Radiation alarms screamed. Systems flickered. Alien crews waited for disaster. A power relay failed. Standard protocol said wait for command. Mara did not wait. She rerouted power manually. Crawling through a maintenance shaft as radiation levels climbed. Her vision blurred. She finished the repair and collapsed. The ship stabilized. The run succeeded. Back at the station, silence followed. Alien employers stared at the reports. A single mother, no advanced training, no alien approval, yet she succeeded where others failed. Mara woke in the medical bay. Elias stood nearby. "You nearly killed yourself," he said. She smiled weakly. "I didn't," she replied. Outside the bay, alien officials gathered. Their voices were low, angry. They were no longer waiting for her to fail. They were planning something else.
Mara felt it before she heard it. The way the ship grew quiet. The way human crew members stopped talking when aliens walked past. The way her name appeared more often in official station reports. She had become a problem. Alien officials gathered in a high-level chamber overlooking the docking bays. Their bodies were different shapes and sizes, but their thoughts aligned the same way. Control must be maintained. "This human disrupts established labor order," one of them said. "She ignores protocol," another added, "and yet succeeds. This is unacceptable." A third leaned forward. Her success encourages others. That was the real issue. Elias and Captain Hale were summoned. Mara stood behind them as the alien council spoke. The worker known as Mara has violated multiple operational standards, the lead official declared. She acts without authorization. She prevents disasters, Captain Hale replied. Your own logs confirm this. Intent is irrelevant, the alien said. Order is what matters, Mara stepped forward. I follow results, she said calmly, not fear. Murmurs filled the chamber. A single mother does not speak here, an alien snapped. Elias moved beside her instantly. She does, he said. She's my crew. The council's decision was swift. Mara's contract would be terminated after her current shift. Her presence was deemed destabilizing. Alien employers watched closely, satisfied, but the galaxy had other plans. That same cycle, warning sirens screamed across the station. Red lights flashed. Unidentified vessels approaching. A system voice announced. Defensive systems offline. Pirates, well-armed, fast, ruthless. Panic spread. Alien security froze, waiting for protocol confirmation that never came. Elias turned to Mara. We need to get power back online, he said. I know where the old lines are, she replied. Leo was still in the observation sector, close to the failing shield zone. Mara's heart tightened. I'll fix it, she said. She ran. Smoke filled the maintenance tunnels. Power surged and failed again. Explosions rocked the station. Alien officers shouted orders that contradicted each other. Mara ignored them. She reached the power junction and saw the damage. Two options. One would restore station defenses. The other would stabilize the sector where her child was trapped. She closed her eyes for half a second. Then she did something no protocol allowed. She rewired both. Power surged through the station. Shields rose. Weapons activated. The pirate ships retreated. But the sector. Alarms were still red. Mara ran again. The corridor near the observation sector was collapsing. Fire and smoke blocked the path. She crawled through falling debris, coughing, bleeding, driven by one thought. Leo. She reached the room. The door was jammed. Mom! Leo cried from inside. Mara forced the door open with bare hands, screaming in pain. She pulled him out just as the ceiling gave way. They collapsed together. Above them, the station stabilized. The attack was over. Silence followed. Alien officials stared at the damage reports, then at Mara. She had saved the station, and she had saved her child. For the first time, the galaxy did not know what to say. Smoke still hung in the air when the alarms finally stopped. The space station was alive, but barely. Lights flickered. Walls were scorched. Entire corridors were sealed off forever. Mara sat on the floor of the medical bay, holding Leo tightly, against her chest. Her hands were wrapped in white bandages. Her clothes were torn and burned. Leo's face was streaked with ash, but his eyes were open. You came back, he whispered. Mara pressed her forehead to his. I always will, she said. Across the room, alien officials watched in silence. Their expressions were unreadable, but their posture had changed. They were no longer standing above her. They were standing back. Data screens lit up with reports. Defensive systems restored. By Mara civilian casualties prevented. By Mara core power. Stabilized. By Mara no protocol could hide the truth. Captain Hale entered the bay, followed by Elias. She saved the station, the captain said loudly. And she did it while saving her child. An alien council member spoke, its voice slower than before. She violated standard decision trees. Elias stepped forward. She created better ones. The room grew quiet. One by one, alien employers reviewed the footage. They saw Mara crawling through fire. They saw her override systems without waiting for approval. They saw her choose both paths when every system said only one was possible. Impossible, one alien muttered. Human, another corrected. Later that cycle, Mara was called before the council again. This time she was allowed to sit. The lead official spoke. The Station owes you a debt, it said. Compensation will be provided. Keep it, Mara replied. Use it to fix what's broken. The council hesitated. Multiple alien corporations now wish to employ you, the official continued, with high pay. Mara looked at Elias, at Captain Hale, at the human crew who had stood beside her. No, she said. A ripple of shock passed through the chamber. I already have a crew, she continued, one that trusted me when I had nothing. The council recorded her words. Across the station, something shifted. Other workers noticed. Single parents, refugees, the unwanted. They saw what had happened. They saw who had stood up. By the next cycle, human hiring requests tripled. Alien workers began applying to human fleets. One question spread through the station like a quiet fire. What do humans know that we do not? Mara returned to work, this time as a permanent crew member. Her title did not matter. Her reputation did. When Leo walked the halls now, aliens stepped aside. Not in fear, in respect. The galaxy had witnessed something rare. Not power, not weapons, but responsibility strong enough to defy protocol. And it was only the beginning. The space station Krylos hub changed after that day. Not all at once. Not loudly, but in small, quiet ways that mattered. Alien employers rewrote their hiring rules. Slowly at first, then faster. Words like parental risk and emotional liability disappeared from official documents. They were replaced with new terms the galaxy had never valued before. Reliability, commitment, protective instinct. No one said Mara's name out loud at first. They did not need to. Every being on the station knew the story. A single human mother. Rejected by everyone, chosen by one, and proven right. Mara stayed with the human fleet. She was offered command training. She refused. She preferred work that kept ships running and people safe. That was where she belonged. Elias watched her one day as she coordinated a complex cargo transfer, calm and focused. You changed more than you know, he said. Mara shook her head. I just did my job, she replied. That's what scares them, Elias said quietly. Leo grew up on human ships. He learned to read star charts before most children learned numbers. He listened to old crew stories and helped in the kitchens. Humans taught him without asking for payment or praise. Alien children began visiting the human sections. They watched how humans worked together, how they argued, how they protected one another. They asked questions. Why do humans take risks on the weak? Why do you protect those who slow you down? The humans always gave the same answer. Because someday, that person might save you. Years later, a report spread across known space. It was short. It did not list weapons. It did not list fleets. It listed behavior. Humanity prioritizes responsibility over efficiency. Humans accept burden without immediate reward. Humans do not abandon dependence. The report ended with a single conclusion. This makes humans dangerous, in a way we did not predict. Mara read the report while sitting beside a viewport, watching stars drift by. Leo leaned against her shoulder, older now, stronger. Are they scared of us? He asked. She smiled. Not scared, she said. Just learning. The human fleet jumped to its next destination and across the galaxy when someone was rejected for being too weak, too emotional, too responsible. They were told the same thing. Try the humans. Because the galaxy had learned a new truth. Humanity does not rise by leaving others behind. Humanity rises by carrying them forward. And that is why, in the end, humanity always wins.